children, till now we have discussed about the useful microorganisms. Now, and what are the diseases caused by the microorganisms? Now, we are discussing about the diseases caused by the microorganisms in human beings, animals, and also in the plants. Till now we have discussed about diseases in human beings. There are many diseases which are caused by microorganisms. Some are communicable diseases and some are non-communicable diseases. How they are prevented means by the process of vaccination. There are many vaccines now we are available in the hospitals. There are many vaccines. For example, DPT, poliovirus, smallpox, measles, mumps. But till now, some vaccines are not available, like dengue, chikungunya, and many other diseases. These diseases are cured, means prevented, by applying mosquito repellents, by avoiding the mosquitoes not to form the larva, means we have to clean our surroundings and should not store the water, unnecessary water, means stagnant water. If the stagnant water is there, the larva will form very easily. So we have to prevent that. That are the preventive measures to cure malaria, dengue and chikungunya. The next diseases caused by microorganisms in animals. Anthrax disease is commonly seen in goat, sheep and even also human beings. These diseases are caused on foot and in the mouth. These diseases also affect, these microorganisms also affect prawns and also fishes. If you see the rabies, it is a disease caused in dogs. If the dog bites a human being, it also transmits to the humans. These are the diseases we can see in the animals. Some examples. These are some examples. Next, if you see some microbial diseases which are caused, we can see in the plants. You can see sometimes lemons, the dot-like structures on that. Those are nothing but it is a disease called citrus canker, which is caused by the bacteria. And you can see on the sugarcane also red color spots. That is nothing but red rot. We call it as red rot in sugarcane. It is caused by fungi. And smut disease, it is also through fungi. We can see that in the rice. You can see the fungus black color. While harvesting the rice, we can see the fungus black color. That is the smut disease. And another one is the ticca disease in groundnut. The leaves, if you see some plants, they will have dot-like structure, black dot-like structure. That is a disease called ticca disease. You can see them in the groundnut plants, the leaves. On the leaves you can see this disease. So these are some examples of diseases which we can see in the plants. Our next topic is food poisoning. You have heard many times about food poisoning in the news, or you may read in the newspapers about food poisoning. What is food poisoning? How it happens? How it happens means by eating the spoiled food or the food which contains toxic substance which are released by the microorganisms. How it happens? Means if the microorganisms are growing in that food and it releases, as I already discussed, they release a lot of chemical substance into the food, due to which we can smell the different smell, bad odor from that one, and the taste is also different compared to when it is fresh. So if you consume that food, it may lead, those toxic substance may involve, means may not be digested, and there is a lot of problem for our digestive system. So it may result in the vomitings and diarrhea. So that condition is said to be food poisoning. So we should not take the spoiled food. We should not consume the spoiled food. We have to take the fresh food. Example for food poisoning is Clostridium botulinum. It is a microorganism. It is a bacteria. It is a bacteria which causes, which spoils the food and responsible for the food poisoning. That condition we call it as botulism. That condition we call it as botulism. So Clostridium botulinum causes botulism. It is a food poisoning. It is a food poisoning disease. Next, food preservation. You have already know about how the food materials are preserved. If you see pickles, we will add more amount of salt and oil. For jams, jellies and sweets, so we will add more amount of sugars, means sugar syrup. So this will prevent the microorganisms not to grow in that, and they will absorb the moist in the food. They will not let the moist to form in that one. What happens if the moist is formed? The moist contains the microorganisms, the water, and which helps the microorganisms to grow very easily. What happens if they grow? Again they will multiply and they will increase their number, and the toxic substances are released, which may lead to spoilage of food, and this may lead to food poisoning. That's why they will add more quantity of salt and oil in the pickles. You might have here that they won't keep, your parents they will say, don't keep the spoon which is wet. Why? Because the wet, that is nothing but water. It contains water. Wet means here water. The water when mixes with the pickle or sugar, just like jams or sweets, which leads to microbial growth. So it may lead to food spoilage. That's why they may not let you to keep the wet spoons. We should not keep the wet spoons. We have to always use dry spoons for taking the pickles, jams. So you might have here see that the fishes, they are preserved. To make them dry, they will add salts. Otherwise they will smoke, means they will keep for sometimes on the stove, heat, to prevent, to take out the moist from the fishes, and they will convert into dry. Even they will soak in the, they will keep in the sunlight by adding salt. So whatever the moist present in the fish, it will be evaporated from that one. And another method is smoking. By heating also the water content will be evaporated from that one, which means the fish will get dry. So it is an easy way to preserve fishes. If you see, some vegetables are also preserved by us. Such vegetables are dried in the sunlight. Why? Because to prevent the moist. If you see, in the summer they will dry the mangoes and mint. They will use it as in the powder form for flavoring the food. So these these are some food preservative methods. Why we are preserving means to use them in the further when they are not available for us. So for use, that purpose means how we have to preserve means by the different methods. If you see the tin items like cool drinks, juices, they are packed in the factories under sterile conditions, means at a high temperature. At a high temperature where the microorganisms are not allowed in that area. So that preserve. This is a one way of preserving the tinned items. The next method is the heat and cold method. Have you ever seen your mother is boiling milk? Before consuming it, we will boil the milk. Why we are boiling the milk? Means we have to, here we are killing the microorganisms which are present in the milk. So through the process of heating and cooling, and again what we will do, we won't consume it directly because it is at a higher temperature. At a high temperature. So we will cool a little bit and then we will drink it. Again in the afternoon, she may refrigerate it, or once again she will reheat it. Why? Because the microorganisms, after cooling the milk, the microorganisms may enter into the milk and spoil the milk. Means for every 5 to 6 hours, they will heat depending upon the temperature. If it is the summer, it requires 3 to 4 times, whereas in the winter season, because of the coldness, the microorganisms may not grow more when compared to summer. So this heat and cool method is the one more method of preserving the food items like milk. In that next one is a pasteurization. For the milk to preserve, one more method is the pasteurization. You may get one doubt here. Why the packet milk? They are not spoiling. When we keep in the refrigerator, when you keep it outside, after few hours, they may get spoiled. Is that milk boiled or unboiled milk? See, in the factories, in the milk factory or dairy farm, we will heat the milk to a temperature of 72 degrees for 15 to 30 minutes. Say 15 to 30 minutes to kill the microorganisms present in them, and they will cool little bit and they will pack the milk in the packets. So the process of heating the milk for 72 degrees from 15 to 30 minutes is called pasteurization. It's called pasteurization, means the method of heating the milk at a high temperature up to particular time is called pasteurization. This pasteurization was introduced by Louis Pasteur, who invented the vaccine for rabies. The Louis Pasteur, he was the inventor of vaccine for rabies, and he only invented the method of pasteurization. By this method, nowadays everybody are using to preserve the milk. A huge quantity of milk daily we are using, or through the pasteurized milk only. You can see on the packets pasteurized milk. They will mention that it's a pasteurized milk, means they are heated that milk to a temperature and they are preserving, they are packing and preserving at low temperature. At that temperature, the microorganisms may not grow. So they will preserve at the low temperature and distribute to our homes. So, by the invention of this pasteurization method, get to invention, how he invented this pasteurization method means, first Louis Pasteur was a painter, he wanted to become a teacher, he was very interested to know about physics, maths. When he was studying, when he was a painter, some people, means the factory of wine factory, those people came and asked about the wine is spoiling. The wine is getting spoiled very quickly. So they want to have some preventive methods for that. They said that this is, means here the Pasteur identified or recognized that the wine spoiling made due to the reason of microorganism entering into it and it is getting spoiled. So he heated the wine to a particular temperature, at a high temperature. So it killed many microorganisms. So this pasteurization method led to invention of many other storage methods. Next one is the storage of packing. Nowadays we are getting all our packed food from chips, biscuits, juices, jams, cool drinks, even milk. There are many things we are getting in the packet form. How they are preparing? Why won't that food particles are not spoiled? Means before packing, they will make the packing. They will take the precautions not to enter into the microorganisms. They will store these. Means while packing, the packing is done at a sterile conditions. Means sterile condition means the temperature is very high, and at that temperature no organism can enter into that space. So while preparing the food and while packing, they will take all the sterile methods, then no organism will enter into it. So they won't get spoiled, and they will mention some labels or the manufacture date and expiry date on them. You should consume before the expiry date. So we have to take care while buying the food is expired or how much time is there to expire it, and we should use in before that date. What is sterile condition then? So sterile condition is the method through which the instruments or things used are heated, means heated in a particular machines. We can see them in the laboratories. The doctors use the process, means by any dissection or any sections, they will, whatever the instrument they are using, their dresses or scissors, whatever they will use, they will all be sterile, means they will heat at a particular temperature. Why? Because during the process of operations, so if the instruments have any microorganisms, they may enter into the body, which leads to infections. So that's why they will all be sterile. They must be sterile before they use. So this sterile process is one of the method which is used by the doctors and also for the preservation of food materials. By this we have finished our chapter, the world of microorganisms, usefulness and harmfulness of the microorganisms. Children, try to note this, write the lesson on your own points. Thank you. See you in the next class.